Closing tools. Now, this closing tool is actually very, very powerful simply because you're going to relate to the way they feel and you're going to share with them that you felt a certain way until you found out, how crucial it was to make a decision. So we're going to use I felt until I found out. So you're gonna tell them whenever they're telling you, look, let me just think about it. Let me leave without insurance. Let me shop around. You're gonna tell them, sir, I completely understand how you feel. Number one, I actually felt the same way. That's number two. Until I found out that making the wrong decision could lead to so much complications. That's number three. So I felt until I found, and then you give them a little bit of a story. So the whole goal of this feel, felt, and found is simply to tell them, look, I understand how you feel. So you agree with them. You tell them, look, I understand how you feel. I really do. I understand how you feel. So at least they're gonna see that you're taking in consideration their perspective. I felt like that at one point, or I felt the same way, which now you're relating to them. You're telling them, look, I understand how you feel. I actually felt like that before. And then number three, you're going to tell them until I found out how crucial it was to make the wrong decision, or until I found out that making the wrong decision could lead to so many complications. And then you elaborate on a story, mainly a story of someone leaving without insurance and being involved in an accident and having to pay money out of pocket, a lot of financial and legal complications, a license being suspended. So you give them you create a quick story of a previous customer and you elaborate on the risk to have them understand that, look, I understand how you feel. I felt the same way until I found out how critical it was. Or simply you could tell them, look, I actually got a ticket. You can use yourself as an example. I got a ticket. Before I started working with insurance, this is about 5-7 years ago, I actually didn't make a decision at one point. I left without insurance and I got pulled over. I got a ticket for $700. So I know how you feel. I felt exactly the same way. But until I saw that in my pocket, I found out that my pocket was going to be, that money was going to be taken out of my pocket, taken out of my finances, out of my checking account. Then I understood that making the right decision is always the right thing. So, sir, I completely understand how you feel. I actually felt the same way before. It's not the first time that you're going to feel like this, but it wasn't until I found out how critical it is to leave without insurance. Now, let me just share something with you. I had a client that actually left without insurance. He left the office, maybe 20, 30 minutes. He got pulled over. He got a ticket. Ticket's going to cost him $1,000. He ended up driving back into the office. He got insurance after, but he was still penalized. He still went to court. Most likely, he ended up paying a good $300-$500. Because even if you have insurance for the same day, but if it was after getting the ticket, court is still going to penalize you. You may not be responsible for the $700, $1,000, but you're going to have to pay at least a good $300-$500. So either way, they left without insurance. So I understand how you feel. I feel like that before, but until we find out how crucial it is, then we would, of course, go back and make a better decision. So once again, the best decision is for you to leave with insurance. So, sir, I completely understand how you feel. I actually felt the same way until I found out how critical it is to leave without insurance. Now, matter of fact, I had a client that left without insurance. They were involved in an accident. They got a ticket for not having insurance. That cost them almost $1,000. Since they were involved in an accident without insurance, their license got suspended for a year. And also they were responsible to pay a couple $1,000s for the other vehicle. And on top of that, they actually had to fix their own car. So look at this. I understand how you feel. I felt like that before. But look, if you put yourself in this situation, now that you know, will you make the same decision? So why don't we do the following? Let's make a decision today so you can leave with the options that are available for you so you can eliminate any issues. Once again, it's not until we find out how critical it could possibly be that we think about it twice.